afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I am Kayode Adebayo. The Economic Community of West African States Commission has urged the 18 registered political parties and candidates in the February 25 and March 11 Presidential, National Assembly, Governorship and State Assembly elections respectively to be mindful of the fact that the world will be watching the democratic exercise. The President of the Commission, Umar Ali Toure, represented by an official of the regional body, Dr. Inye Onwuka, stated this during the fourth and final series of Southeast South-South zonal training and interactive engagement with representatives of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, as well as other stakeholders involved in the polls to ensure credible, free and fair general elections. Rising from a meeting with stakeholders in Owerri on the forthcoming general elections, the Commission also charged them to adhere strictly to provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 guidelines and the peace accord designed prior to their campaigns. They also charged the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure unbiased conduct of the polls, as the entire Africa and by extension the world are looking up to Nigeria, noting that the importance of Nigeria in the West African sub-region could not be overemphasized. As the fuel and currency scarcity slowly paralyzes socio-economic activities across the country, the President Muhammadu Buhari has come under pressure to find a solution to the crisis which have subjected Nigerians to untold hardship. Nigerians, including senators, governors, and youths, are insisting that the President must immediately resolve the new Naira note crisis, which sparked violent riots in Edo and Oyo State last week. The All Progressives Congress governors had met the President with a view to persuading him to end the new Naira note crisis. Also, some National Assembly members who spoke to newsmen urged the President to intervene, adding that the fuel and new Naira note crisis were affecting turnout at campaign rallies. The senator representing Ondo South Senatorial District, Nicholas Tofomo, asked Buhari to sack the CBN governor and prosecute him for disobeying the resolution of the Senate directing the extension of the deadline for the old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes to May. The spiritual director, Catholic Adoration Chaplaincy, Enugu, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, has warned that the current Naira crisis will mar the forthcoming elections if not addressed immediately. Mbaka gave the warning during the first Sunday ministration at Adoration Ground, Umuchibu, Nike. He lamented why President Muhammadu Buhari and the federal government commenced the implementation of the currency policy towards the general elections when they had 8 years to implement it. The cleric insisted that there was no justification for unimaginable hardship the regime had brought upon Nigerians. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has sued President Muhammadu Buhari, Senate President Ahmad Lawan, and Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and 2 others at the Federal High Court Abuja over their failure to cut the unlawful National Assembly budget of 228.1 billion naira, including the 30.17 billion naira severance payments and inauguration costs for members. Joined in the suit as defendants are Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed. The case followed the federal legislature's increment of their 2023 budget from 169 billion naira to 228.1 billion naira. The approved appropriation shows an increase of about 59.1 billion naira. The nation's budget of 21.83 trillion naira is based on 10.49 trillion naira revenue and 11.34 trillion naira deficit. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has assured residents of Peter Ajibola Street in Abeokuta area Osogbo that the state government will fix the road leading to the area, just as he called on Christians in the state to continue to pray for peace and stability of the state and Nigeria at large ahead of the general elections coming up less than 3 weeks now. Senator Adeleke made the call while addressing Christian brethren at the 28th anniversary of Christ Apostolic Church, Mountain of Grace, Abeokuta, Osogbo. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekunle takes it up from here.
Addressing the congregation, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke promised that the state government under his administration will fix the Peter Ajibola Road as a way of making life more bearable for residents.
Especially as a governor, ó láti bí bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. Sọ́fọ́ náà fẹ́rẹ́ pẹ̀ yìí tí bá ti sáì dáadáa ni ó máa jẹ́ sí. Ọlọ́run ètí gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé títí la fẹ́ sọ ní? Ẹ wo àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe owó títí báyìí. Títí eléyìí náà saying to the state government, I want you to put it down. A máa ṣe ọ̀gá náà.
In his preaching at the church, Reverend Midday emphasized the need for Christians to always appreciate God and give thanks, saying thanksgiving attracts divine favor for mankind. He enjoined members of the public to be obedient to the administration of Governor Adeleke for them to be blessed by God. Speaking on the anniversary theme, The Great God, the preacher read from Exodus 3 verse 14, saying that people of Osun State should be rest assured that God is able to do all things, adding that God has promised to be with all those who rely on Him. He therefore urged them to always rely on God. Reverend Jenyo lauded the governor for embarking on sinking of boreholes in each ward's, revitalization of primary healthcare facilities across the state, among others, described the governor as a leading light. Speaking with Osbc News, the church planter, Prophet William Adeyemo, said the church that was planted 20 years ago today has 7 branches spread across Ede, Ifon-Osun, Ibokun, Ilaun, Ejigbo, Ilemowu and Orioke Majiyamo. The prophet called on church members to be Christians and believers. At the same time, on the forthcoming general election, Prophet Adeyemo called on Nigerians to be prayerful and vote for credible candidates that will not prolong the ravaging hunger, economic hardship, insecurity, and unemployment.
I want them to believe in God. Everything will go well. Let us be prayerful and stand in the rock of God so that at the end we will be the survivor.
In her remark, one of the congregants in the church, Mrs. Oluwakemi Shijuade, said the church has continued to work stronger under Prophet Adeyemo, who she described as a lover of Christ and a man of God, guided by Holy Spirit. Prayers were offered for the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke, the state, and Nigeria at large. On the entourage of the governor were the secretary to the state government, Alhaji Teslim Igbalaye, Honorable Maruf Ayofe, among others. It has been Abdurrahim Adekileku.
And now to sports. A Nigerian player, Abdul Hadi, with CD Maritejos in the Spanish Tercera Division, collapsed and died during his side's home match against SP Cabanillas. Hadi reportedly collapsed for no apparent reasons in the 39th minute of the ill-fated match. The medical team on the ground at the Municipal Teledo ground immediately came to his aid, but efforts to revive him proved abortive as he was later pronounced dead minutes after. The Castilla-La Mancha Football Federation and Castilian-La Mancha Football, with its president Pablo Brillo at the head, are totally dismayed at such an event. The 21-year-old Hadi last played in Nigeria with Jigawa Golden Stars. Until his death, Hadi was one of the 4 Nigerian players playing for CD Maritejos. And on the foreign sports, a major earthquake of magnitude 7.8 struck southeastern Turkey and northwest Syria, killing at least 600 people and injuring hundreds in both countries as buildings collapsed across the region, triggering searches for survivors in the rubble. The earthquake struck when people were sleeping at a depth of about 17.9 kilometers, with its effect felt in Cyprus and Lebanon. Turkey's Vice President Fuat Oktay said 284 people had been killed and 2,323 people were injured as authorities scrambled rescue teams and supply aircraft to the affected area while declaring an emergency that calls for international assistance. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that search and rescue teams were immediately dispatched to the areas hit by the earthquake. And that ends the Midday News on Osbc TV. It was edited by Adebare Ejimakinde. Please join us at 3 for the state news. Good afternoon.